It's 2025 and LPVOs still suck. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Trench Grenade channel. I am your host, the average red dot sight, EOTech magnifier, or an ACOG with an RMR enjoyer that your mom said that we have at home. Thanks for watching. Guys, the purpose of today's video is we're going to be discussing why low-powered variable optics, in fact, suck. Now, I want to get this first thing right out of the way. If you're running a Vortex Strike Eagle 1-6 or a Vortex Strike Eagle 1-8 and you got it on sale for $250, and you're arguing that your LPVO is good, you're part of the problem. So let's get right into it. The first acceptable, lowest acceptable price for an LPVO is going to be around $1,400. The only acceptable price for a low-powered variable optic is a Night Force 1-8 ATACR. Okay, if you're going to run a LPVO and you disregard everything I'm about to tell you, that would be the one I would recommend. But you are not that guy, pal, and I'm going to tell you why. If you want to support the channel, like the video, comment down below what optic are you running. Are you running a red dot with a magnifier? Obviously, I don't have the magnifier on here right now because I don't use it a lot. But are you running a weapon such as this pistol, right, with a red dot sight? Are you running an ACOG with an RMR such as this? Are you running iron sights, or are you running an LPVO? Let me know why down in the description below. Comment, do all this stuff, share the video. Let's get into it. I have unlike an LPVO, I have a compact list of notes, right? I'm trying to keep this video short and sweet. That way you guys can get on about your business. So let's just get right into it. I'm going to list off a ton of stuff that came to mind as you guys kept mentioning in the comments. Trench, why do LPVOs suck? Tell us why LPVOs suck. You guys are very passionate about me being passionate about LPVOs sucking. So here's all the things, right? Mounting. Guys don't mount them properly, okay? Guys don't mount them to the correct specifications. They don't Loctite them. They don't level them. Boom. That's not an optic issue. That's a person issue. However, people are the problem, and people are the reason that LPVOs suck. Boom. There you go. Myself included. Now, a lot of guys are like, you just don't know how to mount it. No, I'm saying the average dude that uses an LPVO is not using it properly. All right, moving on. Let's talk about another thing for that. Moving into speed. Guys will leave it on a higher magnification setting, and they'll go to target, and guess what? It'll be on 6 power when they should have been on 1 power, and now it's a training issue, right? So the reasons why I don't like LPVOs is it's too much magnification for 95% of the use case scenario that you're going to run into. All you need is a freaking red dot, okay? So guys are trying to overcompensate with magnification when most of the roles that they're going to be doing, especially if it's Minuteman activities or home defense or even military activities, either an ACOG 4 times with an RMR or a red dot with a backup EOTech magnifier and a dump pouch is exactly what you're going to need. Okay, moving on. Weight. The gun gets extremely heavy when you start mounting an LPVO on top of the gun. Okay, not only the weight of it, the actual size of the optic when you're trying to move in and around structures, when you're trying to get in and out of vehicles, etc., move around teammates, the actual physical size makes the gun super uncomfortable to actually use, okay? So the actual size and weight of the low-powered variable optic as a whole is not going to be good for a standard Minuteman, home defense, infantrymen, etc., right? There's a reason why we only issue them to scouts, generally speaking, okay? And yes, I know a ton of guys are going to be like, but the new SIG Spear has them. That gun sucks, and we hate them, okay? Moving on. All right, battery life for the dot. The battery life on the actual dot in your LPVO, whatever optic you're running, if you're running a Vortex, Viper, PST2 Viper, or whatever you're running, generally speaking, that red dot in that freaking optic, the battery is going to die faster than pretty much any of the competition, whether it be a red dot, whether it be an EOTech even, whether it be a freaking, and if your battery life is worse than an EOTech, that's a problem, okay? So yes, LPVO battery life sucks for that dot. Now a ton of you guys are going to be like, but Trench, I don't need it because I'm only using it for long distance shooting. Then why are you putting an LPVO on an infantryman's rifle? Unless you're literally a designated marksman, you should not be running an LPVO. All right, moving on. Guys, what it really comes down to is speed. The vast majority of the things you're going to be doing, this gun right here, plus obviously your PEC 15 and a sling, because the sling is on a different gun for a different project. This gun is what you're going to be utilizing, okay? Suppressor, surefire, red dot, EOTech magnifier, and a dump pouch with a sling, and your PEC 15. This is a setup that you're actually going to be utilizing, okay? And if you're not using a pistol, then you'll be using a 20-inch like this with a freaking boom, same exact setup, a Surefire, an ACOG, and an RMR with a freaking adjustable T-Rex arm sling, and that is it, right? The vast majority of you guys are trying to overcompensate, saying you need more magnification than you're actually ever going to use. The vast majority of you, if you ever have to use a rifle, it's going to be within 100 meters and it's going to be within a couple seconds. So what is important to you is being able to get that gun on target and transition between a couple people very quickly close to you. Not trying to do your designated marksman's job out to 500, 600 meters. That's not your job. And guess what? ACOG with RMR does very good at that role anyway. Or literally just using a red dot with an EOTech magnifier or using an EOTech with an EOTech magnifier will do great. And you can take that thing off of the gun for all the other times when you're utilizing this thing for things that you should be utilizing it for, like shooting people very quickly in Minecraft, right? Okay, so in summary, they're heavy. They're not as durable. If you strap a rifle with an Lpvo on the side of a Bradley or do airborne operations with an Lpvo compared to an aim point, compared to a Trijicon RMR and a Trijicon ACOG, guess what? You're gonna wish you had the freaking red dot, right? It's gonna lose zero. They're freaking massive compared to the competition, you know. They're massive on the actual gun due to the size. It makes the gun top heavy, and now it's going back and forth, right? It's very difficult to be able to transition targets quickly. Guys leave them on too high of a magnification for the vast majority of use cases. So they'll be, oh, we got a target. They'll go up on target, but guess what? The actual dot or the magnification setting is going to be on the freaking 6 power when that should be on 1 power. So it's a training issue. So for all these reasons, right? Mounting, I think I listed everything. Battery life, price, you know, unless you're willing to get a Night Force ATACR and put an RMR on that thing, well, you're probably doing it for the wrong reason. Probably doing it for Instagram clout rather than actual use. So for all the reasons listed, this is why Lpvos suck. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down in the comments below. If you were to ask me, Trench, what should I get? Get an aim point, put a EOTech magnifier in a dump pouch for your battle belt, and run that freaking aim point, and you're going to be better off than putting some sort of, you know, RMR on your gun that you don't need and you're not going to use. Okay. All right. That's a lot of talking. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm sure you guys will be very highly opinionated about something that is so trivial as a low-powered variable optic. Okay, thanks for being here, guys. And until next time, this will be Trench Grenade, your average Lpvo hater that your mom said that we have at home, signing out. Cheers.